Alright, folks, I know this is hard to believe because, well, you listen to my channel, so I assume that we're on the same page about this issue. But there are a lot of people out there who insist that Meghan Markle is smart. Now, what exactly does smart mean? Okay, maybe she has gone through life, usually taking the easy way up, if you catch my drift. And I'm not sure that she has ever worked hard for anything that she's gotten in life. And that's why I believe that everything Meghan touches turns to crap. Meghan Markle does not have a lick of common sense. If Meghan Markle were really so intelligent, I don't think her life would look like this right now. Everything's all messed up because Meghan's MO is being conniving and manipulative. She is sly, I'll hand her that. But to me, that's not the same as being actually intelligent. It just means that she doesn't have any moral compass. And I do not believe for a second that she graduated from Northwestern University. And also, she couldn't even pass the US Embassy exam. She's not a high achiever, come on. She's just a wannabe, and she always took the easy routes, including the oldest profession in the world. A source has just revealed that while Meghan was a student at Northwestern University in Illinois, where she was trying to get a bachelor's degree in international relations, she was assisted by her paternal uncle, the late Michael Markle. So he said that she had been accepted for a traineeship applicant as a diplomatic press spokesman, where it seems like she was stationed leading up to an entrance exam, which she also supposedly failed, and so that meant that her contract with the establishment had to be terminated. It's called the Foreign Service exam, and apparently she did fail. Now, Thomas Markle said in an interview that he funded her return airfares to Buenos Aires, as well as a return flight to the Argentinian city to meet up with her boyfriend, who was described by a worker at the embassy as a married Marine officer. My goodness, what a blessing it was for the US Embassy in Buenos Aires that Meghan failed that exam, considering that Meghan has showed she has quite the habit of passing on fake news about royal business onto the likes of the then BBC reporter Giles Coren after only a few months of marriage to the second son of the current king. Just imagine the political problems that she would have caused in a country that is famous for political unrest like Argentina if she had actually passed that exam. Now, if she had actually taken her role seriously and studied instead of just flirting with everybody, then maybe she would have become a diplomatic press spokeswoman for the US government. Isn't that a scary thought? We all know how conniving she is and how greedy she is, and it would have been incredibly dangerous if she had actually completed her traineeship. Apparently, her mother Doria has been quoted as telling Meghan, "Don't give your milk away for free." So you know that Meghan would have leaked all kinds of information to the enemy in exchange for some money. The traineeship bit at age 20 is pretty good evidence that Meghan did not complete her degree at Northwestern, if you ask me. It simply doesn't make sense, because if she had actually graduated, she would have been about 22 when she started that traineeship. And also, what serious student would even apply for this career traineeship in the middle of their studies as a full-time, live-in student at a really good university? And another thing is, why in the world would her uncle, Michael Markle, intervene on Meghan's degree course in international studies or relations or whatever it was, which was commissioned under the direction of his brother, her father, Thomas Markle, if she were actually doing well at the university? And then another thing is, what did Michael Markle mean exactly when he said that he tried to help Meghan by offering her a cadet traineeship when she was in the middle of studying as a full-time live-in student at one of the best universities in the US, actually? Surely she would have had to put her studies on hold or cancel them altogether if she were to enter a subordinate role as a junior trainee. Meghan also put her Uncle Michael's life at risk by falsely saying to the media that he had worked for the CIA, so he had to move to a relocatable home in a trailer park thanks to that. At the time, he was elderly and he wasn't in good health, he was frail, and he was suffering from some very severe symptoms of Parkinson's disease. There's an abstract out there from a statement by the late Michael Markle that he gave from his home in Florida, where he lived well in a well-resourced community center in his relocatable home, providing him with access to food and home care. So it said, Meghan's uncle, Michael Markle, revealed how his connections helped secure Meghan a prestigious internship at the American Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina when she was 20. Michael said, "I've done more for her than the others. I've probably done more for her than most. I personally talked to the ambassador in Argentina for her. There is simply no evidence that Meghan actually graduated from Northwestern. You can find her on a list of students who were enrolled in that degree course, but you do not see her on any list of people who actually graduated. Poor Thomas Markle wasted thousands of dollars on his daughter's education, and he also admitted to covering the cost of her return flight to Buenos Aires, and again after she was fired from the embassy when she flew down there to see that married Marine, and possibly, rumor has it, even gave birth to twin sons who belonged to him. Moving on to the other half of the Sussex duo, Harry. Well, okay, with Harry and William, Prince William remained in the UK. He stayed on as a full-time working royal. He stayed loyal to his family. Harry, however, apparently left his conscience and his morals behind when he left the monarchy. So, of course, Prince William is going to be celebrated by the monarch, the monarchy, and the public. William and Harry are simply not in the same league. I mean, first of all, William is incredibly handsome. I'm sorry, I know it shouldn't matter, but come on, it does. And he's the heir apparent, and that's what's most important. He is the only loyal royal of King Charles's sons. So, of course, William got all the attention when it came to pledging allegiance to his king and his father. Harry, on the other hand, decided to marry a really nasty, evil woman, a piece of trash, a woman that even the late Queen referred to as evil reportedly, and he allowed his long-simmering jealousy really mess him up. He decided to follow Meghan to the US to try to make money and be famous. And the only thing that really happened was that he indulged in way too much alcohol, way too many drugs, and clearly his brain has been affected. He and Meghan have made themselves a laughingstock. Well, you know what they say, you reap what you sow, and Harry has certainly been reaping a lot lately. By turning his back on his family, he has lost basically everything, and he's certainly lost his sense of decency and decorum. That man has no manners anymore, it seems. After writing about his penis on more than one occasion in that book, which, okay, again, what is wrong with him? Why would he think that we want to read that? Harry lost any sense of royal support. He is in a state of complete disgrace, and I think it's finally occurred to him to see everything that he's lost. Meanwhile, William has been thriving. He is just as regal as he's ever been, even though Harry tried to mess that up for him. But anyway, he works hard to serve the people of the UK and the Commonwealth. Harry's only interested in serving himself and his boss, Meghan Markle. Of course, Prince William was always going to have a higher profile than Harry thanks to his position, but Harry could have been what Princess Anne is to King Charles. He could have been a great help, a willing servant, a loving sibling, and loyal. William really needed to have his brother support him and help him out, but it looks like that is never going to happen now. William instead is probably going to have to look to Zara and Mike for help, or Princess Beatrice, maybe even the children of Prince Edward. William and Catherine, though, are certainly good news for the country, for the entire world for that matter, and they deserve to be celebrated when it's appropriate. In a monarchy, the people who serve faithfully are recognized, and people have a lot of respect for them. King Charles, I know, is so tickled with William's loyalty, not only to him, but also to Camilla. So of course, William was going to be the one right there beside his father. And then Harry, that ginger dum-dum, just had to look on from the third row. He looked so jealous, and he looked so upset. And he looked at William's very real and very alive children, and he seemed to not know what to think about them. Harry flew to San Francisco while Meghan was out hiking with Marcus Anderson, even though I suspect that was an old picture. It really is a bizarre ending to a charmed life that could have been filled with love and purpose and meaning. But I still find it difficult to have any sympathy for Harry whatsoever, because he is the one who chose to go down this perilous road. I think that there was some jealousy and some sibling rivalry, sure, and I think that existed before Meghan Markle entered the scene. But at least both William and Harry were taught early on that they were on different paths, they had different destinies. And Harry was never very gifted intellectually, but he's the one who wanted to use drugs and alcohol to cope, and that only fried his brain even more. See, I don't believe Harry is ever going to fully understand or grasp his role in the demise of his family relationships. It always has to be somebody else's fault. He refuses to take accountability. And I think that he's going to keep up his attacks with or without Meghan's help because somebody's got to pay for his problems. And he imagines that somebody else has to be the cause of his pain. So if things turn sour for his marriage, he might need to come back to England because he doesn't have anywhere else to go. Harry does not have the basic life skills required to live by himself in the US without Meghan there to prop him up. What could he do to support himself in his home country either? Is he going to be offered an allowance? Is he going to be offered a place to live? Will he be on the royal payroll? Will his inheritance, or what's left after Meghan takes him to the cleaners, be enough to last him for the rest of his life? Well, only time will tell. There were two photos that I couldn't help but notice of Harry looking at William's family during the coronation. So I zoomed in on both of them and I was looking at his eyes. In one of the photos, you can see that his eyes are focused directly on Prince William's face. And then in the other photo, Harry's eyes are focused right on Princess Charlotte's face. Both were honestly scary to me, very disturbing, and I think that precautions need to be taken to protect this young family. You know, folks, I am not envious of the position that King Charles III finds himself in. He made a vow to put the monarchy and his people first. He has called upon God to help him. And I hope that he holds that vow close to his heart. I hope that he can keep it forever. Of course, he can continue to love his son. Nobody's telling him to stop loving Harry, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't do that at the expense of the monarchy. So the only thing left to say is God bless the king.